Welcome to Gene and Mike do the New York Times crossword.
Hi, I'm Jean.
And I'm Mike. And today we are doing the crossword for Thursday, March 13th, 2025. So, on a day that is one away from being very unlucky...
That's right.
It's Thursday the 13th.
Mm-hmm.
Did you do the crossword?
I did do the crossword.
And were you lucky?
I was.
In what sense?
That I did the crossword.
Okay, good.
It was a goodie.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was very good. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Great.
It had a great theme, which I didn't figure out until I got to the revealer.
Really?
Really.
You got through all those clues without understanding?
No, of course not. I mean, I had a lot of empty squares,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just like, I kept plugging along, and I eventually got down to the bottom of the puzzle where the theme was located. And then when I got that filled in, I'm like, oh, so that's what's going on.
Well, that's very curious because I was able to figure out what I had to do, but when I read the revealer, I didn't understand what the revealer had to do with what I was doing to solve the puzzle.
Well, maybe you should explain what you were doing.
No, actually, what I need a revealer of the revealer to explain to me what was going on. I'm sure I don't quite understand. I was thinking in terms of insertion of characters into other words.
Uh-huh.
And okay. It really means going. You talk about the theme, and then I'll interject as necessary.
Okay. Well, today's puzzle had something kind of unique because we had some circle squares, but we also had some triangle squares.
True.
I don't think I've ever seen triangle squares.
I don't recall.
But there were 4 pairs of circles and triangles interspersed through the puzzle. And I'm going to talk about the revealer first because it was very important to know it if you were going to get the theme. And that was 61 across, commit a party foul in a way, or what 5 answers do in this puzzle. And the answer to that was double dip. And that is exactly what the answers do in this puzzle. For example, 16 across was the first one. And there was a triangle and a circle under the 16 across. The clue for 16 across was aired in multiple places at the same time. And the answer turned out to be simulated, which doesn't make any sense at all. But if you look below it where the triangle and circle are, they are in the word or in the clue for 26 across was collectors of forensic evidence for short. And that answer was CSIs or crime scene investigators. So CSI, and the C was in the triangle and the S was in the circle. And they happened to be under the L and the A in simulated. So if you're going to double dip, you go SIMUL, simu, and then you dip down and get the C, and then you go back up and get the A, and then you double dip down and get the S from CSI, and then you go back up again and get the TED, and then you have simulcasted, which is showing what aired in multiple places at the same time.
Yep.
So you have to go down and up and down and up. You double dip. The second one was 21 across, which was sorts with unruly hair. And that was mopeds, but it wasn't mopeds because below it in the triangle, we had an H, and in the square or in the circle, we had an A from 26 across, which was
potpourri,
and the answer was hash. So you go, for mopeds, you go MOP, then go down, pick up the H, go up and get the A,
E.
Go down, E, go down and get the A, go up and get the DS, and that spells mop heads, which are definitely sorts with unruly hair. So that is that was the theme. So we also had 37 across, burning glow. The answer was freight, but under the F was a triangle with an I in it, and under the E of freight, there was a circle with the L. So you go F down to the triangle I, up to the R, E, down to the L, and then IGHT. So you end up with firelight, which is a burning glow. And then finally, 39 across, toy shooter. Oh, no, there's one more after that. Toy shooter, the answer was capital, but there was a triangle with a P under the A and a circle with an S under the I. So you go CA down to the P, you go PI down to the S, TOL, which spells cap pistol,
right?
A toy shooter. And one more, there was 54 across, items for babies on board. And the answer was carrots, CARETS. But there was an S in a triangle under the R, an A in a circle under the E. So you go CARS, then back up to the E, then back down to the A, and then TS. And that spells car seats.
Yes.
So items for babies on board.
And that's where I came to grok what the theme was.
Oh,
Because the rest of them, I'm just sort of like, I wasn't sure what was going on, but with car seats, just like that has to be car seats. And so I was able to sort of figure that out there. Where did you figure this out?
When I got the revealer.
So you just ignored you just took the crosses as written.
I just kept filling stuff in.
So you were like happy with simulated.
No, I wasn't happy with it, but it filled in.
Okay.
And it seemed to go with all the crosses, so I just kept it in there. But then once I got the double dip, I went up because I had that mopeds, and I wanted it to be mop tops. I said, it's got to be mop tops, but it ended up being mopeds. And so then, and underneath it for potpourri, I had oleo, which is often an answer to potpourri. But that did not work because then 9 down was first Hebrew letter, and I knew that was Aleph, so I knew it has to start with. It had to start with or it had H.
Oh, right.
That 30, the potpourri clue. And so then that, turned into hash. So then I could see, mop heads, like mop tops, but it was mop heads. So yeah, I figured it out with that one. But not until I got the revealer that said double dip. So I'm like, you got to go down twice. That's why you have a triangle and a circle, so that you go down twice.
See, one person's dip is another person's ascension, and I thought the letters were rising up into the word above them, and so I didn't understand what was the deal with the dipping. But I guess you can either be thinking about going up or going down.
Right.
And I guess from the perspective of the longer word, you're dipping down.
That's right. You start at one level, and then you dip down, and then you go up, and then you dip down, and then you go up.
So really, the only thing they could have used triangles or circles everywhere. I guess they decided, the triangle doesn't mean anything significant compared to the circle, right?
I guess not, but it just differentiates the dips. You got two different dips.
Sure.
Dipping down to the triangle and then dipping down to the circle.
But they could have done like a hexagon and a dodecahedron.
Well, sure. They could have had any shapes.
Right.
But they did the triangle and the circle.
Well, I'd like to point out that there is a network in Canada called CTV.
Yes.
And they have their logo is a C in a circle, a T in a square, and a V in an upside down triangle.
Right.
And so I looked at that and thought, what happened to the other? Where's the square?
Oh.
But I don't think they were thinking of CTV when they created this.
No, not at all. But I thought there were some fun clues, and there were some kind of interesting clues that you don't often see in puzzles. So I just found it a really enjoyable solve.
Me too.
It took me a little while, but it was a Thursday. It always takes a little longer.
Right.
So until you figure out what you're doing.
It took me longer because I had a mistake.
Oh.
49 down, kickin' cardio option was Taibo, and I thought it's Taibo, but I decided I would spell it Taibo.
No, it's Tabo.
I know that now, and although maybe I still don't know the pronunciation, but
I
60...
think it's Tabo.
Tabo? But in any event...
Tebow, maybe. Maybe Tebow.
Maybe it's TiVo, or that's for recording. 60 across was the farm worker organizer Chavez, and the answer was Caesar.
Caesar Chavez.
And I was spelling that Cisar.
Oh, no.
So, and that's where I realized it's just like Cisar? That's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And then I put in the E and got the happy music.
Very good.
So it didn't take me that long to find the mistake.
I had a mistake too, and it was very obvious. I knew there was something wrong.
Well, you didn't get the happy music.
But I didn't know what it was exactly, because 28 down was no lie in text. And I thought, oh, that's IBH.
What?
IBH.
IBH?
Uh-huh.
Isn't that a computer company? Oh, maybe that's IBM. Okay.
But it was TBH.
TBH? To be honest?
To be honest.
Yes.
I thought it was IBH. I'll be honest. That's what I've seen. I'll be honest.
Well, as you will recall, I was puzzled a few weeks ago by SMH.
Yes.
Which doesn't stand for shut my hole. It stands for shake my head. So, or maybe shaking my head.
Right. So anyway, I had an I at the beginning of 28 across, close-up shots of a sort. And I wanted it to be something pics, because I had IPI blank S. So I thought, oh, that blank has to be a C because it's close-up shots, like photos. So I thought it's got to be pics. So I had IIPICS, which of course is not a word. IPICS. So eventually I figured out it was tip-ins, and then I got the happy music.
I'm thinking that IPICS might be something.
No, I don't think
like
so.
You're standing on the edge of a cliff and taking a picture, and you're going, IPICS.
IPICS.
IPICS. Maybe it's something you say on a yacht.
But that C that I thought was a C was in 21 down, Windows Portal in brief, which was MSN.
Yes.
Not MSC. But I had no idea. I knew it was MS something because I figured it had to be Microsoft since it was something with Windows.
So I'm assuming that MSN is still a thing. I mean, I don't do anything with Windows, so I have no idea.
I don't really know, no.
But I do know that that S had to be there because 24 across was some lighters or pens, and that was Bics.
That is correct, yes.
We also had 25 down, juggling chainsaws on a tightrope, for instance. Now, if you look very carefully, the word circumspect fits those squares and fits a lot of the letters in those squares. But I decided that if you were being circumspect, you probably wouldn't be juggling chainsaws on a tightrope.
No, I don't think so.
It was, in fact, circus stunt.
It was a circus stunt.
Yes.
I also had a little trouble with 43 down. Shirley in Orly. And I had no idea. But it was French.
Mais oui.
Mais oui.
Mais oui.
As I was, doing the crosses, I'm like, this doesn't look like a word, but it turned out to be two words, and
right.
It turned out to be French. So
yes.
Then it made a lot more sense.
I mean, they did warn you in Orly.
Yes.
Sort of pins it down there.
I guess, yes.
I liked 8 across, delivery people, mamas.
Yeah, that was my favorite clue.
And then...
Very funny.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We also had 11 down, compliments to salts and fats in the kitchen, acids.
Acids, right.
I didn't know we had any acids in the kitchen.
Well, we have vinegar.
Okay, I guess that's an acid. It's pretty gentle, but it's good we don't have industrial strength hydrochloric acid eating its way through the floor.
Diet Coke.
Hey, don't pick on my Diet Coke.
So yes, we do have a few acids in there.
I like 2 down. That's one of my favorite words. Bad actors, evildoers.
Evildoers, yes.
I think that's just the gentlest way to describe people. You evildoer, you.
That's right. That's right.
we had 22 across, and 22 across was hit up privately on the socials, and that was DM'd.
Yes.
And I was thinking about all the different letters we've had. There's sort of abbreviations for different ways of communicating. And I thought I would try and get ahead of the curve and come up with some new initials that haven't been used yet. So QM'd is when you quantum message someone. And sometime in the future, that's going to be a thing. And people will go back to March 13th, 2025 and hear that we discovered it first.
You discovered it.
Okay.
So Mike discovered
you were in the room at the time, so I believe you get equal billing.
Wow.
And I'm willing to share in the glory.
All right.
Of QM'd.
Very good.
Not exactly sure how it's going to work, but it's going to be awesome.
All right.
It's like, hey, how come you never respond? I QM'd you yesterday. You see, that's how it could be used. I don't know for sure, but 34 down was highly amusing, at least to me. 1982, George Clinton hit with the refrain, bow wow wow, yippee yo, yippee yay, atomic dog.
Yes.
What was that?
I have no idea. I had to get that with the cross.
Is George Clinton, is that like Bill Clinton's brother?
No.
Oh, that's a different Clinton?
His name was Roger.
Roger Clinton? Okay. Bow wow wow, yippee yo, yippee yay.
Yeah,
I mean, I get the dog part. I don't see the atomic part.
I did not know that.
Okay. Well, now you know. You've learned something by doing the New York Times crossword, even if it is that in 1982, George Clinton wrote Atomic Dog.
33 down, stand on stage, perhaps. I thought, they're gonna, try to get you here. So I bet it's got to be easel, because I had the S. If somebody's giving a talk and they have a visual, they might have an easel, which is a stand, of course. But it turned out to be riser, which makes a lot more sense.
Right. So. Yeah, I mean, in all the TED Talks I've seen, I've never seen anyone there with an easel.
No.
Unless they're going to paint something. We had 48 down. A logician who hypothesized that the simplest explanation for a phenomenon is usually the best. Occam.
Occam, yes.
One of my heroes. We need more Occams nowadays.
We certainly do.
It always seems to be the most complex explanation is the best. It's just quit with the complexity. It probably wasn't what you're thinking. So, yes. So this was a good crossword here.
It was, yes.
How about, actually, a couple more. 65 across, Hyundai SUV named after a region in Hawaii, Kona.
Kona.
Did you get that one right away?
No, I did not.
Okay.
But I got it.
But you got there eventually.
As soon as I figured out atomic dog for the O. Yes.
And right there as well, 59 down, 6-pack that might be in the craft section for short. I was thinking of something like arts and crafts.
Oh.
But it turned out to be IPAs.
IPAs. Boy, that shows up a lot. IPAs.
Does it?
I think so.
Let's do a little
IPAs.
Let's do a little investigation. It's shown up, define a lot, 20 times.
Oh, well, look at IPA, not the plural.
Okay. IPA has shown up 80 times.
Yeah, but look when it started getting popular was
in 2015.
2015.
Yes.
So, within the last 10 years, 80 times.
Okay.
So
but
that's quite a few times in 10 years.
But I'd like to refer you to yesterday's debate over Erie, 1,411. And then what else did we have? Air. E-I-R-E or E-R-E? E-R-E, right?
Yeah.
Which was 1,420.
Yes.
They're still separated. They're still separated by 9. So, Will, I have a request. I'd like you to have a crossword that just contains the word Erie, 9 times. That would be great.
I think that breaks the
rule.
Yes.
Except when it needs to be broken.
Right.
All right. Well, that is it for the crossword then.
Okay.
So thanks, everyone, for listening.
Yes.
A reminder that we love feedback, crosswordpodcast at iCloud.com. And Friday's crossword's going to be out soon. We're going to tackle it. We hope you will too. And come back to hear us talk about that crossword tomorrow.
Bye-bye.